And welcome back, Anime Lately and Black Clover fans. It is I, your boy RayApollo, back at it with my boys. Of course, you know, this is our Clover Coven, as I like to call it, with my boy Miguel LegendDVash. What's up?
Good here. Pretty interesting chapters.
Are you good? I don't know. I really don't know.
Chapter 265, we didn't cover. Me and Ray didn't like it. 266, we're here. I don't know how I feel about it still. So like, I'm still iffy on the most recent two chapters. So that's why I'm like, I don't know.
He seems hurt. But then my boy, as usual, James Barnes. What's up, my guy?
Oh, what's good? I am actually excited for this chapter because
Same.
it leads to a lot that we have to look forward to.
I agree. So let's just kind of start. We're just gonna do like a kind of. We're not gonna do page by page. It's just overall. So what did you guys think of this chapter? We'll start with James. James, what you think?
I like this chapter, so I'm a little bit more forgiving because I know that we're in an exposition moment in Black Clover right now. What we're about to get into with these gates and opening up the underworld, this is going to be huge. So I understand having all of this exposition. And now we know where everyone is. We have Noel and a couple other people who are training with the elves. Noct is trying to get all of the captains ready. And Noct himself is training Asta to control his devil power in just 2 days, mind you, which is ridiculous. But
it really is.
Whatever. That's anime. That's manga. That's the way it is. But I'm just excited for what comes next. And I did enjoy this chapter. I thought the art was really good. Vash, what do you think?
So to add to what you're saying about the elves, that's the chapter that really not put a sour taste in my mouth. It's more like it came out left field. Like the story, it was going right, and then boom, it came. Oh, hey, here's left. The elves still have a whole town. They've been living for the past 100 years from what happened, and Lady Tatia's the baby. She lived. So what happened with the elves and everything saga? It was meant to happen, but still, the baby that was meant that Lich got mad and over and killed and everything still lived somehow. So it just felt left field. So I guess that's the thing that put like a sour taste to me within Black Clover. But overall, chapter 266, I like more, and it kind of forgave it. It's just that how can you get stronger in 2 days? How can Noel and them learn the ultimate magic from what the elves know? And is what we know is that the elves been knowing that. How can you teach it to humans in just within 2 days? And also to the kind of like, it's just weird to know that 2 days is what James said, anime manga, 2 days. Like, are y'all gonna go to a chamber and just happen? It's 2 days in the real world, but then it's probably like 10 days for us. Like, what? I don't know.
Maybe some shit like that. Like,
I don't know, but it's just it was. I think it was more. Oh, hey, I think Thompson was like, oh, I wrote these really strong villains, but now they're too strong. Oh shit. What am I supposed to do? Well, I guess I could bring back the elves and teach them some other magic. Because, oh man, I can't have them beat them at the level they are because I just said all that shit about the word devil being like the strongest thing ever, and then I brought in these guys, and they're way stronger than him. And I'm like, oh man, so he wrote himself into a corner. Is what I'm thinking happened.
And then what do we call this magic? Yes, I can't think of what to call it.
Ultimate magic.
Well, ultimate magic, I have to give credit. Some people actually like, has this been said before? And yes, honestly, ultimate magic has been said since chapter 3. But like, how the fuck are we supposed to remember from something that's been said from chapter 3?
They haven't had a threat where it was necessary, and now
true,
sure.
But like maybe that has been brought up, maybe like since like maybe if they brought it up a couple chapters ago, or maybe before this arc happened, where we could at least be reminded, oh, ultimate magic exists in the world. But for you to just come back, hey, we're gonna help you learn ultimate magic, and they're like, well, oh, okay.
I don't know. I feel like I can forgive it because, you know, flow is difficult for anybody. Any kind of. I mean, like, so yeah, the flow is a little off, but it's like, you know, I mean, it's not like he just created a whole race of elves out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
They existed before. It's just, and I'm sure he'll explain in some weird one panel thing of how they got there.
And then we'll all be like, okay, we'll just move on.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
so
hey.
it's like, that's cool. But it was a little bit of like what? Okay. I mean, and it was just, I think it was because it was so sudden. There were no indications in the chapters before that they were going to be saved by the elves.
Yeah, because like, we thought before, like, hey, they literally got a whole bomb of self-destruct literally happened to each small section of the Heart Kingdom, and they're like, did they get hurt? Did they get saved? But no, they got saved by the elves that live nearby because they live between the whole boundary between the Clover Kingdom and Spade Kingdom.
We heard shit going down, so we came to investigate, and y'all was dying, so we decided to help. This is essentially what happens. But I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. So this, like I said, this chapter, and I was telling you guys before, this was my favorite chapter in the past 4.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, we get to kind of, like James said, see where everybody is and where we're headed, and now we have a plan of action. It's like now we get to get the training montage before we start the real shit. Yeah. So I'm excited nonetheless. I'm curious to learn more about this devil, because that's been the biggest mystery this whole damn time, and now we're finally gonna get some answers, which I'm like, thank goodness. So the next few chapters should be pretty damn good.
I'm really excited for that. And Nock, the way he spoke to his other members, like, hey, I'm the vice captain. I like to position because I like my freedom. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm like, okay, so just because you're in the brigade of Black Bulls and you're the vice captain, you just don't, you can speak to us like that? And he literally just said, yeah, I can, because your brigade of nothingness, you guys always make trouble and you're a bunch of failures. And literally judged them by the way they look.
And he called them ugly. He basically said, y'all ugly, and I don't have to be here. And then he dipped.
Yeah. And then, like, he literally said, yeah, I'm skeptical because each person here looks very fishy. He literally gave them the all type of judgmental type of profile.
Yeah, he judged all of them and then said they was ugly and was like, all right, I got work to do, and took Asta and left.
He's an asshole, dude.
He really is.
An evil-looking, openly delinquent peasant. An evil-looking, belligerent, masked peasant. Like, dude, what the fuck, dude?
Like, yeah, what kind of asshole you got?
No, but what's funny...
People like, he want all the smoke, but it's like he can back it up, I guess.
A brazen witch who does nothing but drink. Like, Jesus, dude.
That one was kind of a compliment, so I was like, that's cool.
A spatial mage who was so careless with a woman that it interferes with his mission. I would have laughed if he added also... I would have laughed if it also added that takes our captain to always go to the bathroom and poop, because that's what he also does a lot as well. If he added that, that would be a little icing to the cake. I'm like, wow.
Insult to injury for sure. But
like we talked about before we started recording, like, to Ray's point, like, maybe this is his strange way of motivating them.
Yeah, because I was like, well, you don't just say stuff like that, like, just because. So I'm like, yeah, maybe this is how he gets people to want to do, like, he pisses them off, and that's how, like, you know, when somebody pisses you off, like, oh, I'll show you, essentially, is what I'm assuming is kind of how that's going to be, I guess.
And I do agree with what you're saying, right? Not agree with the Nock tactics. Your tactics is horrible, and plus it makes people hate you more. It makes people not dislike you. But
I think he doesn't care.
But it also, I agree.
Strong, he doesn't care.
But I agree with Ray's point, because maybe that's the point of it. Because if you see the panel he left right after, and then all their faces is so sad, it's like, yo, this guy may be speaking a point. Maybe we should pick up our slack. Maybe we should be better people for our captain, because we have this reputation, but we saved the kingdom, but people still put Asta in jail and try to execute him because he has a demon. Sorry, he has a devil inside him. So maybe that's what his weird way.
Walks around as a vice captain. Excuse me, but no, we're not gonna get into that.
I mean, now that I think about it a little bit more, it's like, maybe if they spent less time doing the things that they do, maybe they would have been strong enough to save their captain.
And I think that's what he was trying to say, but he was pissed off that they let him get taken, and so that's why it came out that way, I think.
Yeah, because he even said, if you want to pick up, if you want to save his worthless hide. So it's like, do you really care about Yami? But then you act like you don't.
Yeah,
he does.
But in a weird, sadistic, tactless way.
Well, yeah, it is dickish way. Yep.
That's in the same way that what's his name? The Ripper guy. The same way his friendship is with Yami.
William. Yeah. With Yami and William. Yep.
Because he said, like, yo, I'm about to leave, but like, you know, you're not leaving. You're gonna go invade the Spade Kingdom because you want to save Yami. Like, no, I'm not. Like, yeah, because you care about him, like we all do. So I do agree, but I do want to add, as much as I have my little critique of these past 2 chapters, the art in chapter 286 was really phenomenal. It was really good. It was detailed from chapter page 12 and 13 and on, from this noble house that we don't know who it is, because all he wants to say, whose house is this? Oh, it's just a noble house I'm just using. I'm like, this is who is it though? So that's the question. Is it his house? Is what we all think it is. It has to be his house,
plot
right?
strings. Well, you don't know. Maybe it could be, could not be. But I mean, he wouldn't just pick some random house. That's for sure.
Yeah,
maybe someone's house we know.
Know what's happening. Yeah, I don't know. So it's got to have some kind of connection to him.
Yeah, because we were talking about on page 10, there's a photograph on the ground, right? And you see a mom, dad, you have the kid who we possibly think could be knocked. And then there's another kid that's scratched out of the picture, or maybe the picture's just broken or something.
It's obscured on purpose.
Yeah, it's obscured on purpose. So it has to be a sibling. So it could either be a person in the Spade Kingdom, Clover Kingdom. We don't know how far they teleported, because he just said that my shadows, wherever there's a shadow, I could teleport. So it's like space of magic.
OP as hell, by the way.
Yeah, really
so,
OP.
And it's like, so wherever there's a shadow, I'm like, there's shadows everywhere in any goddamn place. So you could literally teleport. There's no limit. Spatial magic has a limit.
So this is what I'm worried about. If they go to the underworld, he's gonna be OP as hell. So
yeah,
because underworld, there's dark magic shadows everywhere.
Like, how do we know this dude just ate a demon? So but then, I'll take that back. They confirmed that he was a person at least at one point before the devil powers. So I don't know. Yeah.
But then the last 2 pages is the most curious, because he said that your Grimoire and the arm is already connected. Sorry, has a deep connection to the devil already. And once you step in, he has summoned, and boom, we have the devil himself having a reveal of his face and everything. Finally, just his actual face. We're about to see how he looks, which most likely is gonna be creepy as hell.
I mean, it's probably just gonna like a more evil version of Asta, is what I'm assuming. That's just what I'm guessing.
But what it reminds me of is how Ichigo versus himself versus the white mage, like the white, the white version of him, and Naruto versus the demon side of his. Like each MC character is gonna versus each side.
You know what I'm hoping doesn't happen? That Asta goes the route of Ichigo, and he just has all the powers from all the groups. Oh no. Don't do that, actually.
From all the groups?
Yeah, like he'll have angel powers, he'll have elf powers. Please don't do that.
I really hope
not. No, Ichigo, no, right? No, that was too broken. Don't. But I'm really curious about this, because to see how he actually looks and see that his right arm is actually gone, because like he said, it's part of his now. So
he gave it to the devil. That was the deal. So
this is curious to know how it's gonna happen. So I'm really excited for where he goes.
So I mean, any other final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Like, I'm really excited to see how. Sorry, Miguel. I'm really excited to see how Asa is going to defeat this devil.
Same.
Like, I hope we find out this devil's name. And again, I just want to see how he's going to defeat him with one arm and his grimoire. So, I mean, we'll see.
That is grimoire allowed in this? Because he said that you fight the devil and win, but is he supposed to win himself with just one arm? It's because. And also remember, his swords are heavy. So which sword is he going to use? Because his main big fat sword is that he has to hold with 2 arms sometimes, 1 arm. So how is he going to handle that? And you're a lefty, so it's like usually he fights with 2 swords or 1 sword on the right. So I'm really curious how is this combat going to go.
I mean, he made him buff for a reason, so now we know why. Not he uses with 1 arm. But I'm curious to see. What I want to see is if Nox devils know this devil and vice versa. Like, is this devil actually a known devil? And why not? If not, and who he is if so. So
if my theory comes correct that I told Ray months ago when we started covering that if he is like the Joker within the whole devil realm, the ranking, I would be so shocked that it comes out like that, because I would not expect one of my oldest theories to be true. Like, okay. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, I would go along with that theory, dude, because Jokers are the wild cards. Asta's the wild card. The devil that he has is a wild card. Like, that would make sense to me if it happens.
And everybody calls him, oh, this guy's nothing. This guy's not important. And that's always has been said for this devil. The word devil said it. Lucifero said it. Every devil that has encountered him said it. So, this guy's a nobody. So for us to finally see,
he likes Asta. They're both outcasts who are actually extremely powerful.
And I think that's what he's going to say to Asta. He's like, "That's why I chose you." Essentially, is what I think is going to happen.
Yep.
If that's what we start this chapter, I'll be like, "All right, you're getting me back on track with Black Clover. Let's go. I like this."
Yeah. All right, James. Did you have any other final thoughts?
No, that's it. Just give me 267, man. I'm ready.
All right. Well, hey. That's all we've got to say for this one. But what do you guys have to say down in the comments below? Let us know. What did we miss? Did you like what we had to say? Did you not like what we had to say? Is there something you have any more theories that you could expand upon for us down in the comments? Do that. We'd appreciate it. If you want to hit this video with a like, make sure you do that because it helps us get other folks in here who are Black Clover fans that might have other theories that we haven't considered yet. And if you love what we're doing here, Anime Lately, make sure you tap that subscribe button, but you have to make sure you actually hit it. Don't just tap it, like click it. You know what I'm saying? Don't punch it. Just click it so that way you know it's there. And also don't forget to turn notifications so you don't miss any of these videos. Well, until the next chapter, which we hope is much more than what we just got. All right. Peace.